Well, today we are talking about a Lexington nonprofit founded to rescue women in Uganda from extreme poverty and sexual exploitation. Want to welcome in today Christina Millican, the co-founder of Livingstone's Mission. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Erica. Happy to be here.
Okay, so let's start off with, I know we have the mannequins here, which we're going to get to. People are wondering why, but this actually goes with an event that's coming up. But first, I think everyone is aware that human trafficking is, of course, a global issue, but why Uganda, and help us understand sort of that connection here in Kentucky.
Sure, yeah. So I have had a heart for Africa since I was a little girl and went to the continent, the country of Africa in 2015 for the first time. And that was when I first became aware of the extreme poverty in that country, which only worsened with the COVID-19 pandemic. And we're talking about a country that 80% of the population is under 35 years old and 70% of the workforce is unemployed. So we're talking extreme poverty, which forces a lot of young people into really dangerous, vulnerable situations.
So how did the nonprofit come about then?
So I have a friend in Uganda. I call him Alex, my little brother, but he's actually 7 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Alex was raised by a single mom. His family was a victim of domestic violence, and he has a heart for rescuing women in these vulnerable situations, and particularly out of the commercial sex industry. And so we found several women that wanted help, wanted escape, but needed medical care, needed education. Most of these young women and young men haven't been to school past maybe 4th grade level.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So we're looking at not only providing education, medical care, social emotional treatment, but also job skills training. And so over a conversation over Facebook and WhatsApp, we kind of birthed this idea that we could rescue women, we could provide a livelihood, and eventually expand to work with young men as well.
And what's interesting is there's a sewing aspect to all of this and dressmaking, which is why we've got the mannequins here. Explain how all of this works.
It's true. So in looking for a marketable skill to be able to teach young people, a skill to become self-sufficient and independent, sewing was a very marketable skill for Uganda. And so all of the schools in Uganda are private, so school uniforms, constantly children are growing out of them. And so, but with the COVID-19 shutdown, our schools were closed in Uganda for 18 months, the longest school closure in the world. And so our young women pivoted and became fashion designers. They started making women's wear, dresses, young men, women's clothing, even children's clothing. And so we have a storefront in Kampala now, which actually has a rescue emergency shelter in the back where we can sleep 6 women.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, these are some of the dresses that have been made at our shop in Kampala, Uganda.
These are beautiful. I know you're wearing a piece yourself.
Yes, this is one of our newest. This is one of our maxis, and we have some matching mommy and me for little girls.
I mean, this is exquisite. You talk about the craftsmanship in this, and again, these are all skills, entrepreneurial skills that these women are learning. Just curious, what's sort of been the feedback from the women?
Wonderful, wonderful. In fact, several of them have gone on to open their own tailoring and alterations shops. A couple of girls, sewing wasn't their favorite skill, so we've actually been able to provide cosmetology training, and so some of the women have gone on to learn hairdressing, and we just hope to expand the skills that we're able to offer as we grow.
What is being able to do this work? I mean, it's so incredibly impactful. What does this mean to you, seeing the women come out of this with these skills?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, I think that we're all gifted in some way to make the world a better place, and this was just the seed that got planted in my heart when I was a little girl, but it's incredibly rewarding, and I'm looking forward to going back in August and being able to take a look and give hugs firsthand and see the center there in Uganda and celebrate. We actually have had over 25 women to come through our program so far.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. Well, I want to get to this event because this is something that's coming up pretty quick. Tell us more about it.
April 22nd at the Event Barn at Evans Orchard, which is a gorgeous facility. It's an absolutely beautiful place. It's called the Dress for Success Celebration, and it is in honor of the first 25 women who have come through our program and become exquisite fashion designers in Kampala, Uganda. So we're going to have a silent auction, live music, female vocalist of the year here in Lexington, Vanessa Davis, will be entertaining us. And we're going to have over 30 pieces of clothing from the center in Uganda up for auction.
Oh my goodness. Okay, best way to get tickets?
On our website, livingstonesmission.com.
All right, do not miss out on this incredible event. Certainly it's going to a wonderful cause. Christina, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Erica.
Appreciate that. Stick around, we've got to look at your headlines right after this.